What does it mean to have a pure soul? You've probably heard it said before that someone has a pure soul. But what exactly is that? In this article, we'll look at the meaning of a pure soul, and also the clearest signs that you have one. What does it mean to have a pure soul? The idea of having a pure soul can mean different things to different people. To some people, it is as simple as being a good-hearted and kind individual. Being caring, sympathetic, and warm towards others. To others, it might take on a more spiritual or religious meaning. The idea of being a pure soul is an almost angelic concept. Our soul is the essence that makes us human beings. It is our true self underneath all the masks we hide behind. Many people think of this as the essential and eternal part of us that lives on after death. Whilst life experiences may taint us or change us, this underlying part of us remains true. So if we're talking about having a pure soul, then we're talking about having a soul that is still clean and unspoiled by the grind of life. As political activist Mahatma Gandhi once professed, the pure love of one soul can offset the hatred of millions. But what qualities define a pure soul? Let's take a look. Here is 15 signs that you have a pure soul. 1. You have humility. Why is humility so important? For one thing, it stops you from getting lost in your ego. This helps you to cultivate stronger and healthier relationships with others. And it encourages vulnerability and authenticity. It's also really important to our growth and development, as research has even shown that being humble is a bigger factor in doing well in life than your IQ. Despite any great achievements they accomplish, you will often find that the purest of souls in life manage to remain humble. Martin Luther King, Gandhi, all maintained a selfless humility that kept them grounded despite their powerful influence on the world. 2. You are a force for good. Pure souls cultivate positivity rather than negativity. That's not to say that they are immune to the struggles of life, far from it. It's just that they want to be a force for good in the world, and they know that you can only fight the darkness with light. That means a focus on love, rather than hatred. They seek to understand rather than blame, to find compassion over condemnation. Being a pure soul means that you actively look for the good in life, both in situations and in people. Pure souls may have faced plenty of trials, but they still prefer to approach things with a glass-half-full mentality. 3. You are giving. Pure souls are generous. They are happy to share what they have with others, whether that is their time, energy, kindness, or the food on their table. Giving is less about how much you have materially. Some of the most giving people on this planet have the least. It is more about a willingness to share with your fellow man, to help those who need it. But the irony is that giving is good for you, and not just those on the receiving end. Research has shown that it makes us feel happier and healthier, as well as improves our social connections. Giving is also contagious. So-called paying it forward is where we receive an act of kindness and generosity and end up passing this on to others. 4. You are grateful. People with pure souls can seem the happiest and most content, and one of their secrets for cultivating this is gratitude. Gratitude is a key ingredient in happiness. It helps us to see the beauty in everything around us. We spoke earlier about how pure souls don't get caught up in the trappings of everyday life. And one of those trappings is materialism. Rather than getting fixated on what we don't have, which can lead to deep-rooted frustration and dissatisfaction, gratitude helps us to feel satisfied. You recognize all your many blessings in the here and now. And when you do, you'll notice that you feel better and that you attract more positive opportunities into your life. 5. You believe everyone is equal. Our societies create hierarchies. Some are explicit and some are more implicit. But we have a tendency to order and label the people and things around us. But pure souls do not see in this binary way. They don't believe that they are better or worse than anyone else. They do not seek to strip others down out of fear. They don't secretly look down on other people in order to feel better about themselves. Differences can tear us apart and make us feel separated from one another. But a pure soul sees past these differences to the heart of our oneness. In the words of the poet C. Joybell C., we are all equal in the fact that we are all different. We are all the same in the fact that we will never be the same. We are united by the reality that all colors and all cultures are distinct and individual. We are harmonious in the reality that we are all held to this earth by the same gravity. 6. You say sorry for wrongdoing. A pure soul is not necessarily a saint. They are normal human beings going through life and doing the best they can. That means they still have imperfections just like everybody else. And it's human to make mistakes. It's how we learn and grow and is sometimes unavoidable. Nobody can be perfect. And being a pure soul doesn't mean being void of flaws. But pure souls can recognize their mistakes and make amends. They are prepared to say sorry for wrongdoing and apologize when they cause hurt to others. After all, as they say, to err is human. Which leads me very nicely to the next point, because to forgive is divine. 7. You practice forgiveness. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for healing ourselves and others. The reason why is simple: forgiveness allows us to move on. The science is clear. Research has shown that forgiveness is associated with healthier emotional and physiological reactions. When we hold on to anger, resentment, or bitterness, we're stuck in the past. We cannot change the past, so we must let go of it. That way we are able to release the pain and move forward. Pure souls do not carry the weight of their or other people's misdemeanors with them. This is why they seem so light and carefree. 8. You are kind and compassionate. Perhaps one of the first things that springs to mind when we think of a pure soul is their kind heart. They tend to exclude a warm and welcoming energy that makes others feel safe, seen, and heard. Kindness and compassion are the ways that pure souls shine their light on this world. We should never underestimate the humble power of kindness. Kindness can make us feel closer to others, help keep things in perspective, brighten other people's day, boost confidence, happiness, and optimism. 9. You are mindful of your words. You won't find a pure soul intentionally using their words as weapons. They don't want to mindlessly speak badly of others, gossip, or say unkind things. Instead, they choose their words carefully and use them wisely. They know that words can hurt and try to avoid saying anything that could intentionally harm someone. This is why you'll rarely hear them talk negatively about anyone. They realize that in many ways our words are like spells. And when we cast them out into the world, they can either do great damage or great healing. And they want their words to heal. So they speak up when they see injustice or inequality. They aim to use their words as a force for good. 10. You are observant. This may strike you at first as being a slightly strange and unassuming sign of a pure soul. But the truth is that many pure soul characteristics are modest. Pure souls pay attention. They stay aware of the present moment. That helps them to stay aware of feelings that will come and go, rather than get swept away in the heat of the moment. Being observant helps to ground you. But it also helps you to gain a better understanding of others and the world. Pure souls observe, listen, and they take notice of the people and situations that are in front of them. To a certain extent, this is the often spoken about mindfulness that has become increasingly popular these days thanks to its many proven benefits. By anchoring themselves in observation, pure souls become more aware. 11. You can let go. Just as holding on to anger, resentment, and bitterness weigh us down, so too does tethering ourselves to the many different attachments in life. We inadvertently look to external desires to fulfill and satisfy us, and with dangerous consequences. As Lacan Brown points out in his book, Hidden Secrets of Buddhism That Turned My Life Around, attachment is the source of so much of our suffering in life. If we let our desires rule our lives and our attachments form our priorities, it's like running a marathon with heavy weights around your ankles. Once you take charge of your desires and attachments instead of letting them run you, you fling those weights off and become the Usain Bolt of personal development. It's not that pure souls don't experience desire and attachment, it's that they can let go of those attachments when they need to. As the Zen proven goes, let go or be dragged. 12. You are open and authentic. One of the reasons we're drawn to pure souls is their authenticity. They reveal themselves to us and are open. They aren't afraid to show who they really are. They have no hidden agendas, no ulterior motives. They are transparent. Authenticity from other people helps us to feel safe around them. There is an ease that comes along with daring to be yourself. And it's something we tend to admire in people. It's actually fiercely brave to be authentic, as it requires vulnerability, honesty, and integrity. That's why daring to be yourself is the sign of a pure soul. 13. You are trusting. Have you ever noticed that pure souls often have an innocent quality? We spoke in the introduction about how in spiritual terms they remain unblemished by the difficulties of life. That's why children are often seen as some of the purest of souls. Having faith and believing in people seems to come more naturally. That's not to say that someone with a pure soul has blind faith, but they do put their trust in others. They offer this willingly as a sign of togetherness and unity. They recognize it as one of the most fundamental building blocks for all human relationships. 14. You want to serve others. The purest of souls want to contribute. They are less concerned about what is in it for me, and more concerned about what is in it for us. Because they view people and the world more holistically, they see how we are all intertwined and connected. They know that the deepest meaning and satisfaction in life cannot be found through a solely individualistic take on things. True purpose is about using your gifts for the good of everyone. This is the secret to finding your calling in life, and the secret to cultivating a pure soul. Pure souls don't make everything about them, instead, they want to serve others. 15. You are at peace. Think of a pure soul, and you will probably think of a calming energy. Pure souls exude peace. That's because no matter what surface waves come along in life to unsettle them, underneath that their stillness runs deep. None of us are immune to the changeable nature of life that can unsettle us and shake the solid ground beneath our feet, but it's not so long before pure souls find their footing again. They allow emotions, thoughts, people, and events to come and go. Yet no matter what, they can always return to the calmness and security of their true inner self, which remains peaceful.